journey of Virtualahan, when did it really get started?
I got the result of my board exam and my license March of 2015
What board exam, what license was it?
as a medical laboratory scientist.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
So like I'm a full professional,
Right.
allowed to practice the profession and all, but like I'm supposed to fly to Dubai for a job offer by June, because my plan is to work for like 2 years so that I can save enough to continue
Right.
with the medicine proper. But like after they found out about my condition, they withdrew the offer, and by June, so plans change, right? By June, I found an opportunity because now I'm doing online research and I was working online. I found the opportunity for the first time, encountered the word social entrepreneurship, and they're bringing
2015. That's 5 years ago.
June 2015.
Yeah.
I found the term social entrepreneurship. My concept of Silicon Valley before that is a computer store in a mall. That's my concept of Silicon Valley before June 2015. Startups never heard of. And then I learned the concept through Watson Institute, which is an incubator here in the Philippines. And from August to September, I started the ideation of Virtualahan, launched it by October.
Wow.
3 months after, flew to Germany to study social entrepreneurship as like a real thing, like the theory of change and the bigger concept of
So
social
the
entrepreneurship.
vision of Virtualahan back then and right now,
It evolved so much. Back then, what we just wanted to do is to build a school where people can learn skills on how to become economically independent in the online freelancing industry. That's just it. That's it.
It sounds like a big task already.
Yes, it is still the vision,
Yep.
and no more. Because now we are not just trying to create an education model that would compete the 4-year college degree qualification in 10 weeks, right? But also create a more inclusive workplace. Make these people community builders within an organization where they can positively influence culture, process, policy to help the company slowly become more inclusive. So now hitting not just changing the education system, because in the Philippines, for example, and here's the crazy part, because the root cause of all this unemployment and the rising unemployment is like the failure in the education system. Because in the Philippines, for example, if you are a person with disability, your biggest shot is like up to senior high school, because there's no specific program that provides reasonable accommodation on the tertiary level, right? But
so not necessarily because you are less able intellectually.
Exactly.
That's a shame.
Exactly. That's a sad part. So you need to create an alternative for that. So for people who are wealthy and can afford private schools and private tutors, they can actually do that. Like for some people whose disability can still compete onto the mainstream, they can do that, right? But for many, especially those who cannot afford tertiary education plus additional accommodation, then you have very low chance of getting a degree. But our labor practice requires at least a 4-year college degree to get an entry-level job. You see the disconnect? Now, because of those two root causes, you gotta identify solutions that actually addresses them, and like rally people behind you to join you on that. So now we're creating a new education model using a blended adult learning. It's an experiential learning using lifelong learning approach, all those buzzwords, but the idea is like, how can you inject a skill in 10 weeks that directly translate to employment, right? Like skip all those theory parts, just like teach them just like how to do it right there.
That sounds impossible.
That sounds impossible as well, and many people have told us that. And
how do you do that?
And we just, I mean, like, yes, we welcome those. We didn't even take them as a challenge, but like we believe so much in the work that we do because we've proven it.
So you distill everything that's unnecessary and
Yes.
teach essence.
Yes. But what's essential, I feel, that separates our program from the rest is like a lot of people are missing out on one thing, which is the well-being component of the training. If you work with vulnerable community, it is ridiculous to expect them to get out of that cycle if you're only using the training and employment formula.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So what's the third component?
The third component is you need to put up psychosocial support, and we do that through our well-being session. We have an in-house psychologist at Virtualahan that helped us develop a well-being curriculum, which is fully integrated in the training. And that well-being curriculum, right, like from Monday to Thursday, they learn hard skills,
Mm-hmm.
like website development and design and all of that. Every Sunday, they do the well-being session with our community builder and in-house psychologist. And that's, we teach them skills on how to embrace your disability and make it part of your identity.
Awesome.
How can you become an advocate and educate others about your condition?
Wow.
Right? How can you help another person with like disability? Because the disability space, for example, is highly segmented. If you work with autism, your knowledge is limited to that.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole concept of intersectionality is missing. And that's what we're trying to bridge here. And like if you put a recovering drug addict, a solo parent, and a person with disability
Mm-hmm.
inside one classroom, that's when you see social cohesion at its best.
Social
Cohesion. Yes. It's like when you see people that share, even though they came from very diverse background, right? They share this common pain that it's so difficult for us to find employment because of the conditions or situations we didn't have. We didn't choose to have.
So they are bonded by being excluded.
Exactly.
Wow.
And not so many people are unlucky enough to find each other in that community, and you put technology in between them.
So you remind me of a story whereby there's a speaker who asks everyone who have experienced cancer in their family or friends to stand up, and then instant bonding and connection when they look at each other and go, "We understand you."
Yes.
Wow.